while we got our jugs out, we're just pitching drop shot style for brim along these little weed edges here as we the wind and current pushes back downstream. So sometimes it's good to just do that. Right there like that. That hit. There we go. You saw it? You saw how he took it? Oh, hope we hadn't lost him. Saw how he took it? That's it. See? Oh gosh. Now we're getting into these brim. I've heard this was a good fishery for brim, but I never really established much of a pattern, but you see that right there. And so all we're doing is, again, we're probably going to end up doing more brim fishing than catfishing here. And certain times of year they seem to hang around those weeds. And that's how I have this rig. This is my drop shot rig, 3/8 ounce. That's pretty, a lot of people think that's heavy for brim fishing, but it isn't. These are deep, clear water, so I need to go ahead and get it down about a foot, foot and a half above that. I have a single number 10 Mustad 3366 hook with 2 black soldier fly larvae on there, and all I do is pitch it underhanded with my fly rod that I had to reel him in when that thing was half hitched over that eye there, and so and it's still not. You gotta be kidding me. All this stuff happens at the most inopportune moment. But anyways, you can see, and guess where it's gonna get. There we go. And just as we're seriously, okay, we're gonna try this again. We're just pitching it right up there, and the wind is kind of pushing us toward the bank. Ooh. And what we have to do is just sort of correct. The easiest thing to do would be to just get on the oars. I don't feel like that right now. A lot of times I'll just let it drift like that. It's really on those patches of weeds that that you really get them on. And I caught those two nice brim right off those 2 patches of weeds. So we may motor up, and there's an old sunken dam there, blasted dam that we're drifting off of. Ooh, I had some bites off that, but you know, it's kind of hard to. We're not getting any bites. That's where they were. So we're going to pitch it back under here. And that's all we have. Now the jugs are way downstream, several miles, and I just decided to come up here by this particular dam just to see if we could hook into anything else. And these bigger brim are in this deeper, clearer water off these weed beds and stuff. I think I was on a rock shelf there or something. Oh, something's got me. Yeah, here we go again. Just look at that. Nice. That's not bad, huh? All we're doing is letting the current. My dad took me fishing one time. We did the exact same thing, except it was a big soapstone or limestone wall, and there was too much current to be anchoring up. Dad always loved to anchor, and he said forget it. He just pulled up, and all we did was drift downstream. He was pitching under banks like that, just like that. And look at that. That's not a bad brim. they call 3-finger, 4-finger, 3.5. That ain't bad. That'll eat. And that's the whole reason for this trip. I'm not catching bait. I'm trying to catch them. And so, and again, just using my black soldier flies here. Now, if you don't want to get your hands smelly like this, then my contention is that you probably shouldn't be fishing. But if you don't, you can put on some gloves, I guess. But and so we're not. And so we're just look at those damselflies. I bet those damselflies would be a good fly fishing pattern. Now this is an old fly rod blank. This is annoying me to no end. Really want to get to building my own wooden rods and stuff, but I got a couple other pieces of equipment to buy. You know what happens when money gets tight, right? Nothing happens. Nothing happens when money gets tight. And so what we're doing here is just drop shot. Now I happened upon this, I remember once, like I say, my dad took me fishing that time. We weren't doing drop shot, but I heard about drop shot rigging on something like that, and we're going to reel back in and pitch it back. You want to try to get it as close to those rocks as possible. And I did it here on the same lake. See, oh come on, need to get me a smaller ABF. There we go. Well, should have let it released it some. It's on the bottom, and that bigger 3/8 ounce weight just helps it get down some. Sometimes you don't know if you're getting hit or if it's just starting to kind of get hung up some, but either way, that's just hung up there. That's just on the bottom. Very rocky bottom here. I'm going to reel back in because eventually the rod will just, but you saw how we caught it, right? So I may just need to stand up and just do this. It'd be much easier. Right there like that. Pitch it right in there. And then and you just fish it drop shot. See, something's already hitting it. You fish it drop shot just like you would bass fishing. Took it away from him. Back up. Yeah, see, he got me. But you can see they're in there. And you don't ever see anybody, I don't ever see anybody brim fishing like this. You don't see too many people brim fishing because everybody wants to, most people are fishing for sport. At the very least, I can eat the brim, and if I don't want to eat the brim, I can always use them for bait. And now, and so that's a great way to fish as well. It's just, I got that high vis line that helps too. A lot of people scared of high vis line because they think the fish are not going to bite because, I mean, they just think that the fish are going to see the line. Well, yeah, the fish can see the line. They got eyes, they can see. They're not interested in line, they're interested in food. Right? See, I just had a hit, big hit there. Let off some lines. Kind of why I need the ABF 40, or probably ABF. Ooh, that was dangerous. Or ABF 30 or something like that. Wind's picking up and we're. Oars would be nice, but really, yep, something's hitting it, sure enough. But we're hung up too. Oh, come on. So we were getting a hit and we got hung up. And that'll happen, you know. You'll get hung up, you'll get frustrated, you'll get cussing mad, but just remember, it's all right. And we may end up, oh, try to keep it quiet. Black soldier flies. And what we may end up doing is, see these fish, the current is always pushing, and the wind's always pushing, and it's always pushing bait downstream. And so they're holed up in these little cracks, in these weeds, cracks in the wall, and when bait goes by, they'll run out and hit it hard. You know, and this is why I like the fly rod. I can't, you know, again, this is a fly rod with a spinning reel seat on it. Tell you what, we'll just cast this guy. I recommend a bait feeder reel. Yeah, it might be a little bit too far out, but 3/8 ounce weight. We'll probably beach right here in this area and then try to fish this whole area here. Okay. Not seeing anything right here, but anyway, nice brim. So what we'll do is, and once we beach here and fish here for a little bit, if we're not catching up, we'll motor back up that half a mile or whatever it is. We're getting some big waves because some barges are about to come through, or they're either pushing some current. And that's what'll happen here. See, right there, not the best spot, but let's see if we can't get close to one. It's a little sandy, somewhat of a sandy area right in here. You can see. And be careful out here, guys. It can be dangerous, but. Was something that hit there. And so this is sort of like drifting for bluegill, you know. You don't have to anchor for bluegill. You can drift for bluegill like you would. There, got a twig there. Felt like I had it hooked onto something. You can drift for brim the way you would drift for catfish or any crappie or anybody else. Just doing it with a single pole. I did get a hit there. So we're on a gravel bar here. I can just tell you, geographically speaking, this is we're on a gravel bar here. So this may be a good spot to sort of anchor up some. But tell you what, I always have better luck brim fishing than any other fishing ever. And I've heard people who've said they've had good luck with fishing for nice eating sized brim on these waters, but I just haven't, you know, spent the time, and so I'm thinking, well, maybe now's the time. So we're gonna end up beaching right here, and we'll just cast right off there. Yeah, good spot there. Yeah, and we may even get out and walk this little bank here, and I don't know how much battery I got left, but all right, now we're in this little cove, you know. Yeah, there we go. We got something. Yeah, all we're doing is just drop shotting. Nice. And he just hit it, you know, just as I'm just sort of slowly reeling it back in. You know, again, we can eat him. It ain't 3-finger there. Nice little 3-finger brim. Ain't no monster, but he'll eat. He'll eat. You just skin him and fry him. May fry him, don't know. Doctor says I'm diabetic, so can't eat a lot of sugary stuff, but if I watch it, I can eat some deep fat fried fish, though. But I just can't eat a whole bunch of it. And so I think what we'll do now is get out and and just walk the bank. I mean, we're at a gravel bar here, pretty stable. We'll tie off the boat off to this root system here, and we'll just see how many brim we can catch right here. Now we've got a pattern, you know. That same old pattern Dad taught me as a kid, just drifting down the river. And the only thing I've added to it is I'm just drop shotting it. Drop shotting for brim and drifting for brim. Got a lot of waves coming off the dam. Barge traffic is all up and down here. Again, that's all we got. We got 3/8 ounce weight here. You can use more or less if you want. I find that's a good one. I put this weight on my jugs, and so I had a bunch of them on my jugs. And so I just put them on here. Palmar knot to a number 10 Mustad 3366 hook. Put 2 black soldier flies on it, and then just pitch it out there and just reel it in slowly, just about the same speed as if you would be drifting, just like you saw me. And you just stand up here. We're just going to kind of walk this bank here, this little bank. And so now you got a little pattern, you know. Drifting for brim, drifting for brim. Don't know how much battery life I got left, but again, we're just going to cast here since we got a nice little pattern. See, that 3/8 ounce gets it on out there, just like if I were double hauling it with the fly line or something. And you might get hung up, that's okay. You just break off, you retie, and just keep going. And that drop shot works. I mean, I like drop shot. Everybody calls it drop shot, but when I was a kid, when my dad would take me deep sea fishing, it was just, that's the rig that the deep sea fishermen used. Weight at the bottom, hook up a little bit above it. And so hope I'm not disorienting you here, but you see how that technique works, right? Yeah, we're hung up now. Probably gonna lose it. You'll lose sometimes, but I think we may still have it. All right, we're back. We get. Oh, come on. Sorry. Oh, come on. Seriously? Okay. Yeah, something hit it. All right, but anyway, you'll see how that works, and I'll get back with you in a little bit. Yeah, little guy. I'm gonna keep him though. Ooh, he almost swallowed that. Well, in fact, he did. Only thing about those 197 those hooks, these hooks they're short shanked. They're not long shanked. A lot of people like long shank hooks for brim fishing just because brim can swallow a hook real fast. And I almost fish the J hooks like you would a circle hook. I don't even worry about setting the hook most of the time. Most of the time when I set the hook, all you're doing is taking it away from them. But I'm finding that a length of less than 1 foot is best with this drop shot with brim. I'm finding more than a foot it works, but it just seems that the less than a foot seems to be the thing that really kind of gets them. So we're going to stay here for a bit and just go. I think this guy's dead. But again, you saw me, we chummed the area. We're just going to keep catching. We'll just run and get our jugs before it gets too dark. Alright, we're just pitching it out. Right there, just like that. And hold it taut. Dragonfly, I guess, there. Oh, come on, Seriously. Hung up. Probably on a rock or something. Alright. Like I say, that'll happen. I mean, you'll get hung up. I mean, just get ready. And sometimes you get hung up like that, and that's when they'll rob you. Because they got a lot of leverage, and they'll rob your baits in. And okay. Again, you take them. That's his head. That's his face, the little end. His bum is the big end. A lot of people don't understand that, but he must have got hung up on a log or something, because I'll show you how I hook these guys again. The chum doesn't feed the fish. I mean, they will eat it, but it's mostly to get them into a triggering bite, triggers them to bite. That's the whole point. Okay. So his bum, you stick it straight through his bum, about halfway through his body like that. And he's got ripped open a little too much. And this guy, you hook it through the bum, but you're not going to try to dress the whole hook. You're just going to, like that. And so it ends up being a double thing with a little length and a hook exposed so that they'll cast out a little bit deeper this time, see what happens. A little bit further out. So we kind of chum this whole area, and we're fishing it just, you know, the boat's beached, and we can just hear it. It looks like somebody's got an egg crate there, and you can tell somebody's motored up here and probably fished here in the past. Now we're already getting hit, so we're just not paying attention. That's the thing about doing these videos, is that, you know, I never catch as many fish. Yeah, we're getting hung up on that same log. Well, that's what it is. Yeah, but anyway, let's kill the camera until we get some more, and then I'll get back with you. Good time. Before you leave a spot, you always generally want to chum it up some more, just to kind of keep, that was a bad throw. Yeah, side arming it like that's the best way to go, really. Just, you know. Alright, that's that. We're gonna push another drift. Seriously? Oh. Keep forgetting to crank that sucker up with the safety key here, the whatever this thing's called. Kill switch. Alright. Nice spot. That's a pattern. If we want to fish from the bank, we can kind of get on these sand gravel bars like that and cast out and fish. Probably could do decent on some jugs here too, but we're learning these waters, and that's what's most important. All right, let's get back upstream for another